Hey, how's it going? It's Ellis. Glad to be with you for some chair yoga today. So let's get started just by setting our space as usual. Um, for today, there's some props that you might like. A yoga block would be helpful. If you don't have one of these, a water bottle might help, or I have like a short foam roller, just something to bring the ground a little closer. And you might not need that, but just to have it available. Um, Otherwise, that's about it in terms of props that you need, unless you like something to put your feet up on, which I do, for a little seated meditation that we'll do at the end of our practice. So get yourself situated with the props that you would like. And of course, if there's more that you know that you like for your practice, grab that too. Go ahead and shut the door and turn off any distractions, notifications, so that you can really be here for our practice today. For today, we are going to be getting up and down off of the chair. So I would just ensure that you've got some space on both sides of your chair to stand. Okay, sound good? Get yourself set. Let's meet seated with our eyes soft or closed. So take your time. Don't feel like you need to rush. And then take your time to set up your body. So feel your feet flat on the floor, and if they're not quite flat, support them with something else. Close your eyes or soften them down to a fixed point in front of you, just reducing the visual stimulation. And then maybe make some adjustments in your legs and arms and upper body. You can glide your hands across your thighs until you find a place to rest that feels good and easy and simple. Maybe roll the shoulders and the head and neck around just a little bit. So start with some wiggles and some fidgets so that we can then find some stillness. No rush, no urgency, no need to do it just right or perfectly. Get yourself situated and then find a little bit of stillness. Stay here, steady with your breath. Steady-ish with your attention. Sometimes it's hard in the middle of the day. I've been reading and studying a lot lately about focus and about how to cultivate it, and not just in yoga, but in my daily life. And so I'm approaching this practice, this physical practice, this mindfulness practice, as an opportunity to try out some tools for focus. And so the first one is to remove distractions that we don't need. So that's when I invite us to put the phone away, turn off notifications. And I say that as I just got one on my phone. So I'm not following the rules. And other distractions that might be there. So this is what we do by softening or closing the eyes. And that allows our mind to slip into a focused state. And that is in contrast to the way that our minds often work, jumping from task to task to task. And it's really a skill that we can try to practice and cultivate. And so maybe we can even see this mindful yoga practice as like professional development for us to be able to focus more effectively. So we practice it here so we can take it for the rest of the day. Now, let's try to bring our focus to the feeling of your breath or the sound of your breath. Whichever one you can bring your attention to most easily. So it might be the feeling of your breath in your nose or your throat, the sensation of expansion and contraction in your belly or your chest or your rib cage. Or maybe the easiest cue for you to tune in to focus on the sensation of your breath is the sound. So keeping eyes soft or closed, let's bring a little more focus to the breath. And you can observe its pace, its texture, just as it is. Notice if you're breathing through your nose or your mouth or both. Nothing better or worse. Let's begin to cultivate a fuller breath. Whatever that would feel like for you today. Maybe it's longer, maybe it's just bigger. Begin to cultivate a real intentional breath. About 5 more or so. Tuning in again to that sensation, the sound, feeling of your breath. Good. Blink your eyes open. Let's take a breath in and sweep the arms up overhead. Keep holding the breath and then reach the arms even higher. Squeeze your belly in. Keep holding the breath. Spread your fingers wide. Take one more sip of breath in and then breathe out audibly as you cactus the arms. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach up, get long, root down through your hips as you reach up through your shoulders. Go ahead and let the shoulders move up towards your ears. Spread your fingers, hold the breath. Exhale. Last time like that, breath in. Hold the breath. 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. Good. Release your arms down along your side. Shake out your hands, shake out your wrists and your elbows. Good. All right. Let's take our arms forward. Palms are facing one another. And let's actually bring the palms to touch. Let's do that. Now we're going to turn this into a twist. I'm going to give you 2 invitations. Either the gaze stays forward or the gaze is going to follow the hand that's moving. If dizziness is something that visits you quite often and you want to avoid it, I would keep your gaze facing forward. If you want to practice this sort of gaze meditation, you're going to follow the moving hand. So you can experiment and change your mind. Arms reach forward. Take your gaze towards both thumbs. And then I want you to, let's start with the right hand and glide the hand along the inner line of the left leg, left arm. Take it to your chest and then reach it behind you. Circle the arm up overhead and then take it forward, press the palms again. And then we'll take this to the other side. So the left arm's going to glide inside, glide across the chest, and then open up into a twist. Take the arm up and then forward. So let's keep going like that with your breath. Your pace and movement, deciding if you're going to keep the gaze fixed at the stationary hand or if you're going to follow the moving hand with your gaze. And it's just finding the option that works for you. You're not missing out by keeping the gaze fixed, and you don't get a gold star for moving it either. Both options, great opportunities for focus. Let's do 3 more each side. Think less about destination and more about process. One more each side. Good. And then release your hands down to your knees. Lean a little forward and let's move through some spinal flexion and extension. So cat and cow, sending the chest forward, chin up and throat forward. And then rounding the spine, sending the tailbone forward and the crown of the head forward. So let's keep moving back and forth like that with your breath. And you can decide which part of this is an inhale and which part is an exhale. Maybe even taking it in the opposite way than you're accustomed. Seeing what that might feel like in your body. Good, let's do this 3 more times. Good, neutralize. And then let's take our hands to the right knee and then lean back, lift the right knee up. So if you need to scoot your hips a little forward, that's fine. So we've got an interlace here at the right knee. And then keep your left hand at your right knee and reach your right arm forward. And then let's make a 90-degree angle with the elbow. And then we're gonna open up, twist, and then round forward. So let's do that a few more times. So start with the arm and let the movement of the arm then expand the upper back and chest. Good, let's do this 2 more times. Good, come to face forward and then let's cross the right ankle above the left. Good, so we can stay just like this and maybe you're already feeling some sensation in the outer hip, I am. You could press the hand into the inner thigh to try to increase that sensation, all the while breathing. And or you can hinge forward. So by hinging forward, I want you to send your chest forward. Think about laying your chest across your shin. Just an intention, not a real cue. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Good, bring your way up. And we're gonna take this to the other side. So release the foot down. Let's take the interlace of the hands around the left knee, lift up, get yourself situated. And then right hand is gonna stay there. Left arm will reach forward and then bend the elbow. Now we're gonna take 5 twists, opening up and then coming forward. Move slow enough that you can feel this shape evolve. That you can feel it peeling open and curling in. Twice more. Good, when you finish your 5th round, we're gonna take it to figure 4 again. Cross the ankle, adjust so both hips feel grounded on your seat. This side may very well feel different than the other. You can stay here, you can press the knee down, you can hinge forward any amount. 2 more breaths. Steady and focused. Good, let's lift up. Release the foot down. Excellent. All right, we're going to shift into a variation of Skandasana or a lateral lunge. So let's start by taking the right foot off the right edge of your chair and the knee is bent. And then this is where a block might be helpful, off to the right, same side as that leg. And then I'm going to extend the left leg kind of forward and out. So I'm going to scoot a little forward so that it's straight. So rather than, I don't know if you were with me, like last week, we straddled the chair. For this one, I want the leg to be off the front edge of the chair and straight-ish. Okay, so left leg straight off the front edge of your chair. Let's see if you can get the whole footprint on the floor. And if elevating your foot on your blanket or pillow would be helpful, you can do that. Now, flex the knee, extend the knee so that the leg is straight. Press down through the foot. And then we can take the forearm to the right thigh or take your hand to your block forward and outside of this bent knee. And then maybe lift the left arm high. So I don't know, we can call this a skandasana variation. I might even call this a half moon variation here. Let's feel both feet press on the floor. Right foot, the bent leg, and the long left leg. Let's bend the elbow into that 90-degree shape, and then we're gonna round in and then lift up. And again, the same thing can be done with your forearm to your thigh. So figure out which one feels best in your body right now. Good. The next time you are curled in, let's turn this into a twist. So let's take right hand or forearm to your left knee, and then a right arm can come and grab the back of your chair. You can find this pretty upright, or elbow is to the knee and it's more folded forward. You decide what lets you breathe fully and keeps both feet rooted on the floor. 2 breaths here. Good. Unwind so you can press the hand, unwind to face forward. Let's bend both knees. And then they're a little wide off the front edge of your chair. So we're in a goddess pose variation. Let's take the arms wide. And then let's eagle wrap the right arm underneath the left. So it can either look like this, or it can be stacked elbows and fingertips reaching towards your shoulder blades. Whichever arm variation you're in, lift your elbows off of your chest. Good. Now let's see if we can find a little back bend here, rooting down through your feet and lifting the chest, lifting the elbows, maybe lifting the gaze. And then round in, draw your elbows towards your belly button and let the chin fall into the throat. Twice more like that. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Good, lift up, free the arms. Take your block over to the other side. And then we're gonna turn this into this lateral lunge to the left. So left leg is gonna come off the edge of the chair. Right leg will be on the front of the chair, long leg. So we're kind of making this angle shape here. Press down through both feet. Now, we're gonna start to lean towards the bent leg. Forearm can find the thigh. Or hand comes to your block, forward and outside of the leg, and then maybe lift the right arm, or hand can stay at your hip. Either option. Can you feel your weight in both feet? Now let's bend the elbow, lift the chest up, and then round it. Let's do it a few more times. Good. Next time you're rounded in, turn this into a twist. Either hand to knee and hand to back of chair, or elbow to knee. You figure out what feels best in your body right now. Breathe here a few times. Then gradually make your way through center. Let's find that goddess pose variation. So both legs forward, off the front edge of your chair. Knees are wide. Take your arms wide, and this time it's left arm underneath. So either eagle wrap or bear hug, reaching the fingertips back towards your shoulder blades. Press into your feet, lift your elbows, any amount. Then we'll turn this into a back bend. Pressing into your feet, lift the chest and lift the chin. And then round in. Do this a few more times. Really see if you can light up the legs to keep you stable so the spine can move really freely. One more time. Good. Bring yourself upright. Release your hands. Okay, so we're going to come to our standing portion of our practice. I'm going to adjust my screen a bit. So come to stand to one side of your chair. So I'm going to stand on the left side of my chair. So when you're sitting in it, the left side. And come to face the side of it. And then I want you to bring your left knee up onto the seat of the chair. So if you'd like to cushion it, that's fine. And if you need to hop that right foot in a little closer, that's fine too. But let's see if we can get the hips more or less over the knee. And then bring your right hand to the back of the chair and lift your left arm up. Now let's press down through the rooted bottom foot as we reach up and over to the right. So we're going to do that several times. Lift up and then arc over. Let's do 3 more. Keep pressing through your grounded foot. Good. Come up through center. Release your hands. And then I want you to bring the sole of this foot onto the chair. Good. So you can decide, this bottom foot can stay where it is, or if you want to feel more of a lunge, you're going to hop it back a little bit. And it's a pretty big lunge here, so you probably don't need to hop back too far. Good. And I just want us to rock back and forth, pressing into that front leg. See if you can keep the heel of this foot that's on the chair pressing down. So don't go so far that you lift the knee, but you might feel a little stretch in the Achilles or in the calf. Let's do this a few times, a few more, I should say. You can always be holding onto the chair like I am. Good. Let's back out of it. Find your most stable version of this lunge. Bring your right hand to your left knee. Left arm forward, bend the elbow. We're going to do the same thing that we did seated. Open up, twist, and then round forward. If this is feeling too unstable for you, you can do this seated, just like we did before, lifting the knee in towards your chest. Now, same options as before. Keep the gaze fixed forward, or take the gaze to your thumb and follow it back. It's going to challenge the balance a little bit, challenge your focus. Let's do 2 more. Good. All right, let's release. And then we're just going to walk around the other side of the chair. So release your foot down. Actually, let's take a forward fold. So release your feet down. And then let's bring your forearms to the chair. And then just release your head down. You can soften the knees. Take the feet as wide as you'd like. Good. A couple breaths. Just release any tension through the back, the neck, the jaw. All right, come back onto your hands, and now we'll switch to the other side. So just walk around to the other side of your chair. And we're going to start this time with the right knee resting on the seat of the chair. Take your time to position yourself so that the left foot is basically right underneath your hip, so you can feel nice and stable. And then bring your left hand to the back of your chair and your right arm up. We're going to arc up and over to the left several times. Lift up and arc over. Keep going like that. Good. One more time. All right. Draw up through center. And then you're going to bring this foot to the chair. Find your lunge. Hop that back foot back any amount to find your lunge. Know that it doesn't need to look the same as it did on the other side. And then we're going to do that same thing, just rocking forward. It's okay if this feels different than the other side. It's no problem at all. Let's try to keep the entire foot down on the chair. A few more times, just rocking forward. Rocking like this is a really great tool to soothe the nervous system, just like you rock a baby to sleep. It's repetitive motion. It's really good for us. Okay, let's come back into your lunge, whatever that looks like for you. And then I'm going to take the hand to the knee. Other arm will reach forward and make 90 degrees. And then I'm going to open up and then round it. Good. Let's do this several times. Gaze can stay fixed or it can move as you twist. Your decision. Let's do 3 more. Good, I got a little wobbly on that last one. Release your feet down. Let's find a forward fold. Forearms find your chair. Take your feet as wide as you'd like. Soften the knees any amount. Release your head down. Come onto your hands and then come upright. All right, we're going to do one more little thing standing and then we're going to come to a seat. So stay standing where you are. No, that's a lie. Let's turn a little bit 45 degrees. And then I want you to bring your left leg up onto the chair. So you just had your right one there, but let's bring the left one. And then we're going to wiggle our way around until we can get that left leg straight. Toes are lifted. And then this right foot's grounded and it's maybe about 90 degrees. Okay, let's take the left hand to your left leg. And let's take right hand to your right hip. And then roll your right shoulder on top. Maybe you're already feeling some sensation here in that left hamstring. You can always soften the knee a bit. If there's farther for you to go, I want you to lift that right shoulder on top and start to walk the left fingertips down the left leg. And then maybe the hand comes down inside your foot. If you've got a block, you can bring it there. You can keep the hand resting on the shin. Keep that right shoulder on top. And then the gaze, the chin, might point up towards the ceiling. So it's a variation of Visvamstrasana. Keeping the shoulders stacked. And then finding your variation, your depth of this leg, or this hand on your leg, I should say. Let's find 2 more breaths here. Good, now bend the leg that's resting on your chair. And then let's bring forearm to thigh. And then let's rock a little into the knee. Just like we did in a lunge, but this time our hips are a little open, so you might have some more sensation in the inner leg. Now we're going to pause in stillness and either keep your elbow on the knee and just open up here, or you might bring your hand down, grip your shin or ankle, and then press the elbow into the inner thigh. Right arm can lift or right arm can stay at your hip. It's a side angle lunge variation. Good, let's release it down. Let's come back out of this. We're going to release the foot and we're going to walk to the other side of our chairs. All right, same thing the other side, so steps so you're about 45 degrees. And then we're going to bring the right foot up and then adjust yourself so you can get your right leg long. And the left foot sealed down, left toes maybe pointing kind of forward with your chair. It might be at an angle, that's okay. Toes are pointing up. And then let's take left hand to your left hip, roll your left shoulder onto your back, and then start to inch these right fingertips down the leg. You can stay upright like this. You can take the hand to the back of your chair. You can keep inching, sliding down the leg. Hand can come inside. You can take your block inside, all the while pulling that left shoulder on top. Can you reach your tailbone, your butt, down towards your grounded heel rather than sticking it behind you? All right, 2 more breaths. Good, let's bend that knee. Keep it grounded on the chair. And then forearm confined at the thigh. Keep the hip open, keep the shoulder open. And then forearm can stay here. You can start to reach down and grip the inner leg with your hand. Press your elbow into the knee. And then left arm might lift up towards the ceiling. Keep engaging the muscles of your hips and your glutes to stay stable. 2 more breaths. Excellent work. Good. Let's back out of it. Let's release the foot down. Let's find one more forward fold on the chair. Forearms find the chair, take the feet wide, release the head down. Shake yes and no. When you're ready, no rush, you're going to meet seated. So take your time making your way there. We'll find the seat. And just as we began, find yourself with eyes soft or closed and a simple focus on your breath. And I want you to rest your hands in your lap, wherever feels good to you, face up or face down. And I want you to bring your attention to your fingers. And we're going to close our practice with just 10 deep breaths. And what I would like for you to experiment with, and this is something that I do in my own practice, is for each breath, I want you to focus all of your attention on that corresponding finger. So breath 1 is my thumb, right thumb. Breath 2 is my right pointer finger, and so on. So my hand stays still, but I'm just focusing all of my attention on those fingers sequentially until I get to 10. Okay, so we're going to try that. You're going to see how that feels for you and for your attention, constantly using it to focus. Let's take a breath in and a breath out. And then begin 10 unhurried breaths. When you complete your 10 breaths, just allow your breath to return to its natural pace and begin to bring your attention to the wider room, the sounds and colors, the temperature, the feeling of your body, your clothing, and in your seat. Let's press the palms together in front of your chest and let your chest lift up into your thumb knuckles. I invite you to bow your forehead towards your fingertips in a little gratitude for your body, for doing this practice, for making time to show up for yourself, and for this technology that allows us to connect from near and far. I thank you. All right. Thank you very much for sharing part of your day with me. I look forward to seeing you next week, hopefully. Thanks, y'all.